Hey everybody, Jay here from Modern Mississauga. We're with the 2018 Lexus RC 300. RC stands for Radical Coupe, and it is obviously a coupe. I have the four ways on to show you the LED turn signals, and there's LED day runners, and there's those little fog lights at the bottom that to me look kind of out of place, but what do I know, right? I like the front lights, this is supposed to be the rear lights, just kind of three little sections there, and it just has that cool look to it. It looks even better at night. Big spindle grille up front, like it or lump it, you're stuck with it because that's the design language that Lexus has chosen. I don't mind it, I give it a solid B+. It's not the most beautiful grille out there, but to me it stands out, and that's kind of what you want to do. There's a good profile of the car, nice and sleek for a coupe. 19-inch wheels, specifically with the black edition, which is what I have. You don't get the black edition, you get 18-inch wheels. Going around the rear, that's what you're looking at if you are stuck behind me. Cool little design thing here that I found. Looks like a big letter F with 5 little strokes coming out of it. We all know the regular F only has 2 spokes, but hey, I think it's just kind of a cool way to incorporate the F into the rest of the body. Dual exhaust, and they're chrome tipped, and there they are right there. And there's your badging, the all-wheel drive RC 300. Let's open up the trunk. So it's a one-touch trunk, and it hydraulically opens, but you've got to manually close it, which is a little weird to me. Trunk space is not much, 295 liters. So, whatever. You can put whatever you need to if you're running around in a coupe, maybe a couple of golf clubs, some groceries, a guitar or an amp if you're me. 60-40 split, the seats do go down, and we'll get into more of that once we take a look inside the car. So again, manual pull to close, and the automatic hydraulic up. So there's a look at the passenger side, looks exactly the same as the driver's side. How far can we get? There's a good look at it. Lighting isn't all that great, but you get the point. And the turn signals integrated into the side mirrors. And there's another F Sport badge right there as well. I like the wheel design. It looks a little complicated if you're right up close to it. So you see the 5 spokes, and then there's 5 additional spokes, 5 black spokes, 5 silver spokes. But if I pull back about, 20 feet, it just looks like it's regular 5-spoke rims, and that looks very classy, very, very clean, and I really, really like that. All right, that wraps up the outside, and we'll be right back with a look at the inside. So we're back with a look at the inside of the 2018 Lexus RC 300. So it's a coupe, so you have a rear seat, and you can see here there are spots for 2 people because there's only 2 seat belts and there's not even a seat in the middle. So if you want to jump into the rear, there's this little latch there, but there's a seat belt in the way, and what Lexus did smartly is to take care of the front passenger. They put a little belt there so you don't have to contort your body in a strange way to get your seat belt on. But to have access to the rear, all you do is just pop that off. Seatbelt goes flush against there. You pull that. Oops, you pull that up a bit, and the seat actually moves. So that's kind of cool. Gives you a little bit of extra automated access to the rear seats. Now, I sit with my seat almost all the way back, so there is no way anyone's sitting back there comfortably. But you do have the latch system right there if you do want to strap a kid in, or 2, because it's on both sides. Anyway, so if you want to put the seat back, you just do one of those, and the seat will pull back a little bit as well. And if you have a front passenger, all you do is just slide your seat belt underneath this little strap there, and it just pops in like that. And there you go. There's a good look at the cabin from the passenger side, not the driver's side. The seats are really, really comfortable. Like, look at the size of these side bolsters. Like, there it is, massive. There's a good look at it. And I'm usually disappointed with cars in the thigh bolsters, but Lexus has done a terrific job. Very, very, very comfortable seats. They're great. Orange stitching comes with the black package, or sorry, black edition. Wood paneling, not wood paneling, wood finish over there. Again, the orange stitching continues. So, being a coupe, well, you can see no extra pillar there. So let's jump into the front seat. Just want to show you what it looks like from what I see every time I'm about to jump into the car. Long doors, it's a coupe, that's how it goes. Again, wood paneling there. And we'll get into more of that in a little bit. Right, so let's jump in and let's start the car up. Start button's up here. It's usually kind of on the steering column there or here, but hey, you know what? It's okay up there because you won't hit it by accident. 10.3-inch screen on this specific model. Let me close that door. analog clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere and 5 o'clock here. And your vents and your HVAC controls, and it's kind of cool. You know, you just top and bottom as far as up and down. Dials right there, good combination. Your 4-way switch right there. These look a little cheap to me. Like they feel cheap and plasticky and just, I don't know, like I feel Lexus should have spent the extra $1 on making them buttons like these, instead of kind of just small, thin and flimsy ones. For those of us who listen to CDs, that's where they'll go. So let me just put the car in drive. I'm not going anywhere. But heated seats, cooled seats, and your heated steering wheel button is right there. Kind of weird, like there's no real, I feel they could have put something there. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents on that. So your driving modes, you have Eco, Normal / Custom, and Sport, Sport Plus, and your Snow. We're in Canada, so that's what we get. Let's go to the fun stuff. So the dashboard. And a lot of you know, and this isn't new for 2018, but they borrowed this from the LFA side of things. So you push this button right there, right in the, I guess, middle right-ish of the steering wheel, and that gives you your options. You just take a look at that dashboard for a sec, and the whole thing moves over. Like, it's so cool that it's a fully digital dash, but that there's still a mechanical aspect to it, like where it actually moves all the way left and right. I just find that very, very cool and very, very fun. There's your, sorry, let me go back here for a second. You get all sorts of information up here. So your navigation, your music, your range, your average kilometers per liters per 100 kilometers and whatnot. And you zoom in through all that through here as well, and that kind of goes, it takes you up and down. I've done 10.9 liters per 100 kilometers. I've done 508 kilometers in total. Lexus tells me on the internet that I'm supposed to get 11.2, so I'm kind of at par. 13.1 city, 9.8 highway. Love the dashboard, very, very cool, very functional, and if I don't want to look at too much, I just push this button once more, and I get that one big dial in the middle. Very, very cool. I really, really, really like it. Steering wheel, it's leather. It's got orange stitching because of the black edition. It's wood as well, and you can just, oh, there's a good close up there. So you can see like the open wood pores right there. You can get your fingernail on there, and I don't know, it's weird. Like when I'm turning the car, it feels strange to go from leather to feeling wood and back to feeling leather. You know, again, you win some, you lose some. I would prefer a full leather steering wheel, but that's just me. You got your paddle shifters there, and you got your gauge shifters as well down there, or Tiptronic, whatnot. Let's look at this while I rhyme off some numbers. So it's a 3.5 liter 6-cylinder engine, 260 horse, 236 pound-feet of torque. The 350 gives you 311 horse and 280 torque, and I think a lot of people would go for that if they want the extra oomph to it. Doesn't affect the fuel economy, doesn't affect the weight, so it's just tuned differently. It's a little more expensive. You know, this car is $50,750, and the 350 goes for $63,250, at least for 2018. The car is going to see a refresh for 2019. This car has been around since 2014, so there are your 3 numbers. Started 2014, this is a 2018, and we're going to end up with a 2019 next year that looks significantly different. There's your F Sport badge right there, and I just feel the F Sport thing is kind of like the M line from BMW and the other luxury guys. It's just overdone, and it's just I don't know, it's the logo and just F Sport pieces, and it's very rare, unless you get the actual true F Sport or M line from BMW, that you're getting what you want, which is performance under the hood. Anyways, trip odometer, lights bright and dim. There are your automatic high beams, heated front windshield, your blind spot monitoring on and off. What else can we look at? Oh, let's talk about this because I don't like it at all. The trackpad. I understand the concept behind it. I totally do. Look, I can't get both in, but you do that and go to your corners and whatever, and it just, you know, all these different things that are lighting up and all that. And you get your menu button in your back and your map, and this comes with navigation again on this specific one. And you just kind of scroll through and get to what you want. But I don't know, I find it's hard to get used to. I would much rather have a rotary dial like Mazda does or like BMW does. Just that's my one big complaint about the RC300. It has this trackpad, and I hope Lexus moves away from it at some point. Anyway, my 2 cents on that. Here is your little storage container. Oops, that's a lot of music. I'll turn that down. So, a couple of USB ports, an auxiliary, and another one in there. A little bit of space, fit a wallet, a GoPro, sunglasses, and a USB cable. Nothing wrong with that. We went over that wood paneling there. The sunroof, kind of cool. It's 2 stages, manual, so you can see the split there. So you push it back 1 to get a little bit of sun, and you get a little more power with your hand, and it opens all the way. Not panoramic, but still good enough. But if you want a little bit of light in, just push it until it naturally rests and stops, or push it back all the way if you would like more. All right, I think that wraps up the inside. We're almost at 9 minutes, so let's wrap this up real quick. Good interior, very, very comfortable seats, beautiful accent stitching with the orange. I don't care for this, I don't care for that, but I care for everything else. Oh, a glove box, nice little push up there, and that gets you access in there as well. And I like that this is kind of dipped down, one last thing, as opposed to being flat and level. So for example, I know if I want to put my sunglasses in, you know, I can just put them there and they'll just slide down and they won't come pushing back at me if I have to do a sudden stop. So that's cool. Not that you should put a lot of stuff there, but if you do, less likely to be they're popping out at you. Okay, we'll go over the rest of the stuff in the in-car portion. We'll be right back. Let's take a look at this one more time because it's fun. All right, we're back with the inside look. 2018 Lexus RC 300. This has the black edition, so for $8,150, you get a ton of stuff. So active noise control, drive mode select, the Blackwood heated steering wheel, power tilt telescopic wheels, navigation, the bigger 10.3-inch screen, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, black seats, orange stitching, air-conditioned seats, which are very, very handy come the summer. The F-Sport seats, driver memory system. There are 3 different settings on the door panels, just for the driver, not for the passenger. Black chrome grille, fog lamp cover, black window frame, power sunroof, sorry, automatic wipers, and a bunch of other cool stuff. Right, so let's just stop talking and let's start driving. So I found the drive with their specific 260 horse and 236 pound-feet of torque. It's nice, smooth power. You know, it's not explosive power like I imagine the RC350 would have. But if you want a car that looks good and you want to jump into the luxury segment and you want a coupe, yes, there's a bunch of different options out there. But if you want to have the Lexus brand, and it's more fashion over function, the 300 is definitely a smart choice because it rides smooth and the seats are incredibly comfortable. Like I mentioned, you punch it and it will go. Absolutely. You put it in sport mode, it'll go a little more. But just I found that I've had it in normal for most of my week and then a little bit of eco. So I'd say 60% normal and 20% for the other 2 each, respectively. Again, it's smooth, refined power beneath your right foot. One thing I dislike about the inside mechanics is the turn signals. So it's one of those things where you push it down or push it up and it comes back to center, as opposed to staying down if you turn left or staying up if you're turning right. Just find it really, really annoying. The number of times I have thought I was I thought I had my signal on to make a left-hand turn, a right-hand turn, and in reality it was just that triple flash. And I just find it really annoying. Just go back to the traditional system, and not everything has to be revamped and redone and latest and greatest. Some things are just great the way they are. Leather shift knob, I think there's a big branding opportunity missed there. There should have been like a little Lexus logo. At least that's what I would have liked to have seen. As far as the layout of the dash goes, for driver ease of comfort of use, it's nice that it's slanted upwards like that. This one slants down, so if you want to put anything there, it won't really go anywhere. But I like that this is slanted up. It's very, very nice. Nice, clean look. Again, don't really care for these buttons all that much, but that's just me. I like the nice analog clock in there, very luxury-esque. Steering feel is really, really good. And Lex has always had good steering feel to their car. The handling, the cornering, the RC300 does it very, very well. And again, I'm not knocking it because it's not as strong as its counterpart, the 350. But this is still a great vehicle in the luxury market. If you want those certain things out of a car, if you want it to be a coupe and you want it to be a luxury offering and you like the Lexus brand, this is definitely something that you should have on your short list for test drives. The whole little party trick with the dashboard moving, that is also very, very cool. I like that. There's a kick parking brake that you use with your left foot. I think they could have squeezed in a small electronic parking brake here, but whatever. The less things going on here, the better it is, at least for me anyways. Sound system is absolutely wonderful. Really, really strong. Very, very clear. I guess just the other complaints, the other thing that I'm not generally a big fan of as I stop the car, just kind of navigating this while I'm driving. I'm looking ahead here at what's going on. I'm looking at my mirrors and all that. And then just instead of it being a dial here, it's just I'm lightly touching, heavily touching things to select, right? So if I want to go back to the source, that's nice and easy. But do I want Sirius XM? Do I push too hard and it goes to preset? So I push too light and it stays at AM. So it's an exercise in precision motor movements as far as your right hand goes, or your left hand if you're the passenger. I would like to see a physical rotary dial or something else instead of the touchpad. People say you'll get used to it, and I'm sure people will get used to it. But for me, this would be something I'm not a big fan of. Anyways, that wraps up the review on the 2018 Lexus RC 300 with the specific black edition. Price point is $50,750 without the black edition. Black edition adds an extra $8,150. You got a ton of cool stuff. And yeah, that wraps it up. I'm not going to talk too long about it. And it's the all-wheel drive model. So with that, I thank you for watching, and feel free to subscribe. It would be great if you could kind of hit that bell as far as being notified when I put new videos up. Anyways, again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back at some point soon with our next review.